Hi, congratulations on becoming an Asylum Guide. To help you in your role, you will have access to the Asylum Guides toolkits. The toolkits are found at www.asylumguides.org. Within the toolkits you'll find most of the information needed to support the people you'll be working with. From the home page, click on Toolkits in the top right, then select Volunteer Toolkit. You will then be presented with two formats. Format A, multi-week briefings, and Format B, a one-time overview. Depending on how your organisation is delivering Asylum Guides, you will find one or both of these options useful. In Format A, the information is arranged in such a way as to make it easy to deliver across a series of meetings throughout somebody's asylum claim, whereas in Format B, it is designed to be delivered in one session, like an overview. In this video, we'll be looking at Format A, multi-week briefings. Once you're in the toolkit, you'll find a lot of what you need to support a client, from client registration, through substantive interview, through asylum decision, information on the appeals process, and to case closure. You will also find some further resources at the bottom of the page. This includes other general information relating to the asylum process. It is important to check this part of the page before a meeting, just to see if there are any resources that may be useful to the person you're guiding. Let's have a look at the content. In this section, Client Registration, you will find the resources you need to register a client onto the Asylum Guides program. At this stage, it is important to outline what can be expected from the Asylum Guides program in a way that is clear for everybody involved. This document will help you with that, but in addition, you will need to explain the boundaries and guidelines specific to your organisation. As with all the documents in the toolkit, you can choose to view a Google document online or download it as a PDF. You may find this useful if you want to print documents before a meeting. Similarly, you can use this information about the distinction between information and advice to help you outline the boundaries of the Asylum Guides project. Remember, as an Asylum Guide who is not regulated by the OISC, you will not be permitted to provide legal immigration advice. Depending on how your organisation is monitoring their delivery of the Asylum Guides project, you may need to use the assessment forms provided here in the Volunteer Toolkit. They're pretty straightforward. You have the option to download the form as a PDF or to view and complete the form online. Simply click on the link and guide your client through the questions. Then at the end, click Submit. After client registration is complete, your meetings will focus primarily on information about the asylum process and on supporting the person you are guiding through the system. You may need to complete a meeting assessment form at the end of each meeting, but this will be a much quicker process. Now, let's look at the information you'll be delivering. The core information in the toolkit is laid out in a way that corresponds to how most people move through the asylum process. For example, you may have recently registered a client who is waiting for their substantive interview. You would arrange another meeting, restate the boundaries through which your project is delivered, then you could simply navigate to the pre-substantive interview section of the toolkit and use that information to structure your meeting. Remember, you can view the content online or download it as a PDF to print off and take to your meeting if you'd prefer. If you choose to print documents to take to your meetings, it is important that you refer back to the website before each of them. This is because the information is regularly being updated. Then, following that meeting, and maybe following the client's substantive interview, you would arrange another meeting to see how the interview went and to see if there are any issues that need to be addressed. Ideally, you would use the volunteer toolkit in this way for the duration of somebody's asylum claim. It's important to make sure that your client understands everything discussed clearly at the end of the meeting. Also, to ask if they have any questions or anxieties about things to come. You may find that you can answer those questions yourself with experience or by looking the answers up using the toolkit, or maybe you'll need to call your supervisor. Either way, it's very important that your client is being supported well and that they have confidence in you as an asylum guide. Being an asylum guide is not about knowing everything off the top of your head. It's about understanding the context you work in, knowing the tools at your disposal, and being sensitive to the needs of the people you're supporting. Then, clearly communicating the correct information at the correct time. The Asylum Guides Volunteer Toolkit is there to help you do that.